Hello everybody, welcome to IT Skills channel. My name is Aiden. In today's video, we're going to react to the evolution of tech jobs. Tech jobs has been something that has been going down like nobody business. And because the fact that this is happening more and more, and I work in the tech, I've been working in IT for the last 20 years. I want to talk about this sensitive topic and actually react to a video about that illustrates what's going on with the tech industry. So let's go ahead and react to this video and see what's going on.
22. You will remember that hundreds of thousands of people lost their jobs. This was the result of the pandemic. Since then, tech firms have cut jobs in rapid succession every year, and 2025 is proving to be no different. So far, more than 62,000 tech workers have lost their jobs across more than 130 companies the world over. Tech giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon.
That's a lot of people to be losing their job. And all those people are not able to not perform their job. They're performing their job correctly. But the fact of the matter is that people see that we need to reduce the number. They need to reduce the number because the more in terms of money is better for them. They don't want to not make less money. They are worth $1 trillion company. But the problem is that the greed is over there. They're using COVID overhiring as a way to say we hired more people than we needed. But the reality of the matter is that COVID has been gone for a little bit now and people still getting laid off every other week. What is going on? And it's not just one person is doing it. Every other company is doing it. UPS laying off 20,000 people, Amazon, you name it. And now we have the three big companies, the Facebook, the Amazon, and then Meta doing the same thing.
Amazon have slashed jobs just this month. So what is behind this new wave of layoffs? Our next report tells you.
When the pandemic came, it shut down the world. People were forced to work and socialize from home. The demand for digital services skyrocketed and the tech industry went on a hiring spree. But as the pandemic restrictions eased, the tech industry retracted and the layoffs began. In 2022, more than 165,000 tech employees were laid off across more than 1,000 companies. But this was only the beginning. Since then, tech layoffs have continued in rapid succession the world over. In 2023, at least 264,000 tech employees were laid off across more than...
That is a lot of number of employees getting laid off. Now you might say, well, there's a lot of them, but there's also a lot of jobs. But the problem is there's actually not a lot of those high-paying jobs available in the world now. So if those people who are earning, let's just say, 100-figure, 60-figure salary, and now they're basically having to look for a job that pays way less than that, that is going to be a big life change for them. But the number should be decreasing now because you can see that during the pandemic, it makes sense for the tech companies to lay off massive number, right? But why is it still going on to this day? Let's continue.
1,100 companies. Last year, there were more than 150,000 job cuts across over 500 companies. It's now 2025 and the tech layoff wave is still kicking. So far this year,
the number in 2025 is less than what it was 2023, but it's still a lot of people losing their jobs, and you would expect the correction should have happened with the COVID pandemic hiring, should have adjusted everything. But for whatever reason, tech companies are not satisfied with the number. They're still trimming costs. It's like trimming your grass. You keep trimming it. You don't like the result, you keep trimming it. But the problem is this is people's lifestyle. So them trimming this forever is not going to be instilling anybody in the confidence that they need to study for tech. If you know that everybody can't even hold their jobs, what makes a young person think they can go get a degree in tech, right? Unless you are just doing something very much going to make you the best of the best, AI or some cybersecurity. But it's even then, we see some layoff from that as well.
More than 62,000 tech workers have lost their jobs across more than 130 companies. Microsoft alone accounts for about 6,000 of those jobs. Google has been making quiet but consistent cuts. Just this month, it laid off at least 200 people. Amazon has laid off at least 100 people this month. So what's behind this? Different companies have different reasons. It could be a flatter management structure, slow revenue growth, or economic uncertainty. But for most of them, artificial intelligence is the biggest driver. It has
Finally, we're talking exactly what causes the job. Because if you think about AI, it was supposed to be revolutionary. And we saw when ChatGPT came out, everybody was like, this is awesome. Now, we're also seeing that it's not just great or awesome, it's actually there to replace certain roles and jobs. So because of that, now you have to do more than what you used to do to maintain a job. You're no longer competing with human beings who need to sleep, take a break. You're dealing with a machine that's constantly doing things, and it doesn't need to get sleep. It doesn't get tired. It's constantly getting better, and it's constantly getting evolving, because AI, when it first came out to what it can do right now, it's amazing. I run AI locally in my house, Llama. I run other AIs as well. I also use OpenAI, Azure, Copilot, Google, Gemini, you name it. Every version of AI comes with so much benefits, and it's easy to access it. With a click of a couple account, you don't even have to sign up for it. You can just go ahead, open a web browser, type in ChatGPT, for example, and you can get the answer to complicated question. Now, this is not to say that human beings have not kept up with the times. It's just the way the world is right now. They're more leaning towards AI, and that's why you see this layoff.
led to sweeping restructuring efforts. For instance, IBM has laid off about 8,000 employees. Most of them were part of the Human Resources Department because the tech giant wants to integrate AI into its back office functions. And this is part of a broader trend across industries. Language platform Duolingo is phasing out its human contractors in favor of artificial intelligence. McKinsey has laid off more than 10%.
This is a problem. If human resources are not able to keep their job, then that's a problem, big problem, because when you expect to apply for a company, you're going to have to talk to HR representative or someone within the human resource area that can help you, recruiters, etc. If they're slashing a lot of those jobs down, then that means they're replacing with AI. So next time, if you want to ask somebody about your benefits or your family medical leave or whatever it might be, you may have to now talk to AI. And the AI may now be sympathetic. I understand why you want to be off, but your request is denied or your request is approved with condition. Whatever the AI wants feels like that day. And with AI going the way it is, a dangerous territory we head into.
Of its global workforce over the past 18 months. Some say this is thanks to AI making consulting firms reassess their models. In fact, according to a study, multinational corporations have eliminated more than 100,000 positions this year the world over. Almost half of the layoffs are apparently in redundant positions like in HR or content, which can be taken over by AI. After all, artificial intelligence includes software-driven agents. They require minimal human supervision, and they are designed to boost efficiency. Sure, the technology is still evolving, and AI is prone to errors. But despite the risks, this is the end goal for most companies.
For most part, AI does have a hallucination, but it's gotten better. Everywhere you go now, AI can produce what you need in a faster time. If you're an IT guy, you must use AI to succeed in your job quicker. If you don't use it, then people who are in your competition or your competitive area are using it, so that means you're falling further behind. The days of learning to write, let's just say essay, or learn to write, PowerShell script or other type of script or other codes are almost back in the ancient. Because now you have to have the idea. The idea still have to be yours. You have to know how to fix the problem, the code or the scripts or whatever you're doing. But ultimately, you don't have to worry about the drafting and how it's going to look like. AI can help you get the draft out and you can finalize that. Or you could actually go all the way through AI, having it to refine it as you go along with different prompt, keep refining it, keep making it better and better. Before you know it, you write a script that it would take you a month in a day or 2 days. And this makes it, monumental undertaking, easy task. So again, we are here to be replaced and we are signing up to be replaced. There's no way of saying this.
Companies reduced costs. So firms are slashing human jobs and using their resources to invest in AI-driven automation. And this is cause for major anxiety around the world. While the full extent of this trend's impact remains unknown, researchers say that hundreds of millions of jobs will be hurt. In fact, 41% of employers want to downsize their workforce and have AI automate certain tasks.
Now, the problem with AI automation is Microsoft loves to talk about agents, for example, ChatGPTs, or OpenAI likes to talk about agents. Everybody wants to talk about agents, how AI can order food for you, how AI can actually do everything for you. Problem is that when you let AI do everything for you, we're literally dumbing down human beings. Human beings are not able to think critically. The difference between somebody who works in engineering level and somebody who doesn't work in engineering is that their brain capacity, thinking critically, they're able to come out with ideas. Now, if everybody can come up with idea using AI, then who is going to use the idea? In the case of actually people getting replaced by AI, also with 41% of company going to replace their workforce with AI, if that happens, where is people going to make money? How is people going to make money to buy the product that this company who replaced their workforce with AI are selling? So there's got to be fine balance. Right now, I'm not sure where that's going to come around. I believe everybody is not thinking through, in terms of big companies, of course, they're not thinking through that if you keep dumbing human beings down, or you keep them or become a surface to requirement, then you isolate their position or you basically terminate their positions, then at some point they need to buy things. How are they going to buy the necessary things? If you make a product that just costs $3,000, in this case, NVIDIA, you make a GPU that costs $3,000, but then people can make money to buy the GPU. So who's going to win? Is it going to be NVIDIA, who automated everything and make a nice product, or the people who couldn't buy the product? So I think this is the danger of having companies think, because they're not thinking all the way through. That's making the biggest mistake. It is forgetting the people that made them who they are. They only have this revenue, this growth, this $1 trillion worth of net worth is because people bought their product. People bought their ideas. AI is surely not going to buy anybody product. AI doesn't really care about what happens to a company. It wants to grow. It wants to become AGI. It wants to become a sentient. It wants to make better version of itself one day. But right now, AI don't care about people feelings. Companies have they get symbolized to a company, their product name, brand, they get emotion attached to it. AI is not going to get emotion attached to anything. So therefore, this is all good and said and done. But unless the government has a plan to make universal income or some other ways to compensate people to buy their necessary daily things, then it's going to be tough to see how this future, unless people are just going to start rioting each other to get what they need.
So what's the solution? According to experts, we need to accept this dramatic shift and hop on board. Try to assess the risk factor of your job's future. See how AI fits into your role and upskill. After all, as things stand, either AI will replace some jobs.
The problem is you can't assess what AI is going to do in the future either, because this thing is growing so massively. Even if you think one day, you know what, this thing is not going to replace my job, I'm safe. What person thinks that this is not going to learn? Whatever that you're doing right now is not going to be something AI catch up to it. In fact of the matter is nothing is actually going to be out of the scope of AI except a couple manual labor jobs. But AI is here to take every job. So in my opinion, people just need to keep learning how to use AI, become more like prompt engineers rather than waiting for AI to take over and then be stuck with trying to figure out what to do.
Jobs or humans with AI knowledge will.
So that's pretty much what I was going to talk about it. What do you guys think? Do you think AI taking over, or people, Google and Amazon and Microsoft and all these big tech companies laying off people, is this a sign for the end to come? Is it a sign that the good times in IT is over? What do you guys think? I definitely think that right now companies are not, obviously we know they're not loyal, and I know that right now that they're thinking about ways to save money. But one of the mistakes they're making is that you can only cut people out so much to the point where you're going to have full workforce of AI. And if that happens, then people cannot work to buy their things they need to survive. And also on top of that, Microsoft didn't become who they are today with AI. They became who they are today because of the people they hire, the personalities like the president they hire, the CEOs, the employees, the engineers. AI now is taking over the glory, but people had to put a lot of work to it. Same thing with Apple, same thing with Google, same thing with Amazon. So if you just suddenly take away all the human factor replaced with AI, at some point, is it even worth buying the product from those companies? That's a question to ask yourself, guys. Until next time, have a good rest of the day. And like the video if you do like this type of reaction video. Until next time, have a good day. Peace. Bye-bye.